Okay, welcome everyone. As we are sponsored on our travels through Sanhedrin by Shalom Fogel, Nishmas Yaakov Zeb ben Yehuda Aryeh, Rivka Bas Yaakov Yosef, Tzivya Miriam Bas Gad, Yosef ben Tziyam ben Yaakov Zev, and by Beirich Goldwasser, the Refuah Shalema for Moshe Meir ben Esther Fadl, for Dov Meir ben Chai Gittel, and Akos Atayv to the Shir. We are also co-sponsored by the Rezepkowitz family in honor of their parents. We're co-sponsored by Mr. and Mrs. Eddie Chazan. For Shalema for Yedidya Ben Panina, Shoshana Bas Panina, Simon Bas Rachel. We're co-sponsored by Binyamin Rivlin, Eli Nishmas, Yitzhak Ben Avram Yehuda Levi, and co-sponsored by Shelley Zeitlin for his children Eli, Orit, and Ora. We are holding, tonight we are going to learn two blat, Be'ezus Hashem, so that we start getting ahead for Yom Tiv. We are holding by Itzisei de Kairach, 2 lines from the top of Kuf Yud Amud Aleph, 2 lines from the top of Kuf Yud Amud Aleph. Itzisei de Kairach, the wife of Kairach, Amrlei, here is how a wife could lead a man to his ruination. Amrlei, she said to him, Amr Chazi Maika Ovin Moshe, look what Moshe Rabbeinu did. Iyu Avi Malka, he appointed himself as king. La'achva Shavi Kahan, his brother, he made the Kohen Gadol, Kohen Rabbah. L'bnei Achawi, to his nephews, Shabinu Signek the Kohen, he made them vice Kohen Gadol's. I Asya Truma, if they bring Truma, Amatav l'Kohen. It should go to his brother and his family. He also Meiser, and if there's Meiser which goes to you, the Shaklisu Atun, that you take, Amar, he insists that Havu Chadmi Yud l'Kain, that even from what you take, you have to give 1/10 Trumas Meiser to the Kain. And not only that, he makes you cut off all your body hair and waves you around. He cuts off all your hair, and he makes you like dung. I'm telling you, he's jealous of your hair. Amalah, so Kairach said to his wife, what are you talking about? He does the same thing to himself. He's a Levi also. Amalei, so she said, yeah, he's the king anyway. Kevin the Kulu Ravusadi Day, since he's the king, he could suffer some momentary embarrassment. Amar Ionami Thomas Nafshi and Plishtim, let me die together with the Plishtim. This is what Shimshon said, Thomas Nafshi and Plishtim. So he says, if I could make Kairach look like a fool, anyway, I'm king, I could take some momentary embarrassment. He says that you should have 1 string of tchelis. Chashiva mitzvah, if tchelis is such a big mitzvah, apiklime de tchelta, make cloaks of tchelis, v'kasinu l'kula mesiftah, and bring your whole mesiftah in full tchelis. Go one up on him. Now, she of course led him in a rebellion against Moshe Rabbeinu and led him to his death. Hainu d'chsiv chachmas nashim, chachmas nashim, the wisdom of women, that's the wisdom of Ein ben Peles. Bonsa Boisa built her home, saved her husband, Zu Ishtay Shalom ben Peles. Viveles, and the fool biyada teresena, with her hand she tears down her house, Zu Ishtay Shal Kairach. This is the wife of Kairach. Vayukum lefnei Moshe va'anashim bnei Yisrael, chamishim u'masayim, and they got up before Moshe, Anoshim from the Bnei Yisrael, 250. Now, why does it say Mibnei Yisrael? Obviously, they're not coming from Midian. So the words Mibnei Yisrael is extra. So the Gemara says, Miyuchadim shebe'eda, the distinguished people of the congregation, Kriyei Moyed, those that were called to meetings, they knew how to intercalate the years and to fix the new moons. Anshe Shem, men of good name, Shoyalem Shem b'kol. The Gemara is telling us this, that you shouldn't think that because you're a chashuv person, you're protected from machlokes. Look how these very chashuv people got sucked into machlokes. Vayishma Moshe heard, Vayipol al panav, and he fell on his face. Mashmu Shama, what did he hear? Am Rab Shmuel ben Achmeni, Am Rab Yonasan, Shechashduah me'ish ish. They suspected him of adultery. They said he's not anymore with Tzipora, he must be getting it somewhere. They each warned Moshe not to be near their wives. They gave him kinui not to be alone with their wives. They warned his wife not to be alone with Moshe. He took the tent and he went outside in the machna to be away from any chshad. Some say they said, when we asked our wives for money for the egel, they didn't bring. When you asked money for the mishkan, they brought. It must be that you have a relationship with our wives. Moshe got up, he went to Dasan and Aviram. Now, why did he have to go to them? You don't foster an argument. If there's any way you could stop an argument, you should try to do that. Whoever tries to foster a machlokes, some people, they just got to be right no matter what. And here the Gemara is saying, as like I said over from Ramosha said, as bad as the situation is, machlokes is noch erger. As bad as the situation is, fighting is worse. You shouldn't be like Korach and like his assemblage. Rav Ashi Amar, Royal Itztareah. A person that fosters an argument is worthy to get saras. In other words, such a person is not fit for social society. In the hands of Moshe to him, put your hand in your bosom, and it came out mitzarash kesholek. So the connection between Yad and Yodecha shows that if a person will foster machlokes, he will get leprosy. Whoever starts up with the reign of David HaMelech, he's worthy to be bitten by a snake. Adoniyo, who tried to usurp the kingdom of David, he slaughtered sheep and cattle, Maria fat and oxen, by the Even HaZoichalas. The anger of the snake that slithers in the earth. So Zoichalas and Zoichale shows the connection that one who goes against Malchus David is worthy to be bitten by the Zoichale offer, by the snake. Amrav Chista Kalachelik al Rabbi, whoever argues with his Rebbe, Kechelik al Shchina, it's like arguing with Hashem. Shenema ba'atzoisam al Hashem, that they started a fight with Hashem. Now, they're only arguing with Moshe, but that's comparable to starting up with Hashem. Whoever makes a quarrel with his Rebbe, it's as if he makes a quarrel with the Shechina. These are the waters of strife. Now, Klal Yisrael did not fight with Hashem, they fought with Moshe. But if you fight with your Rebbe, it's as if you're fighting with Hashem. Whoever complains about his Rebbe, it's as if he's complaining to Hashem. Your complaints are not against us, said Moshe and Aaron. Ki al Hashem. It's against Hashem. So when you complain against your Rebbe, you're complaining against Hashem. Whoever has thoughts against his Rebbe, it's like having thoughts against Hashem. The nation spoke against Hashem and Moshe. Now they didn't speak against Hashem. They just said that why did you take us out in the midbar to die? They spoke against Moshe, but that's like speaking against Hashem.
Rabbi, they spoke against the moon. They're
Right.
speaking against Hashem.
You're right. They complained about, they were maharer, they said it's lechem akloikel. So they were maharer against what Moshe Rabbeinu was doing, and that's considered like being maharer against Hashem.
I would say that's being mahar. That is being mahar against Hashem. It was made by Hashem, not by Hashem.
Well, but they didn't say that. They said you brought it down. You should daven for us for something else. You were satisfied with this. They weren't speaking against Hashem.
So then if a person complains about anything, it's like he's complaining against Hashem.
Well, once the Rebbe says this is the situation, and we're talking about, you have a Choshev Rebbe, Rav Moshe tells you something, Rav Vigna Miller tells you something, and you complain against him, then that's complaining against Hashem.
No, okay, that is, but say a person says, it's raining, I hate the rain. Is that a form of...
I don't see anywhere that it says that in the Gemara.
Okay.
Don't say what the Gemara doesn't say. The Gemara doesn't say that. Now, there are people that their wealth is kept for their detriment. People are brought down by their wealth. This is the wealth of Kairach. You see, because of his wealth, he was able to get people to join him, and he was able to lead a successful conspiracy against Moshe Rabbeinu. If he didn't have that wealth, he wouldn't have been able to do it. And at the end, all of it was kept, and it went down with him to Gehenna. All the substance which is by their feet, that means money. Why is it called Yukum? Because it sets him up on his feet. The weight of 300 white mules were the keys to the treasure chests of Kairach. Now, lest you think that they were very heavy locks, they were gilda. They were locks and keys made out of leather. So they were very light, and yet they were 300 mules full. Three treasures did Yosef hide in Mitzrayim. Remember, he collected money from the whole world. The whole world came to Mitzrayim for food. And he put together three huge treasures. Of these three treasures, Achas niskalsa l'Kairach, one was revealed to Kairach, Achas niskalsa l'Antoninus ben Asverus, one was revealed to Antoninus, the Roman Tsar that was friendly with Rabbi Yehuda Anasi, Achas genuza l'tzadikim l'asilavai, and one was hidden for the tzadikim in the future. This is a big kiddush. Kairach wasn't swallowed up and he wasn't burned. They were swallowed up, all the people to Kairach. It wasn't burned. When the fire burnt to 250 men. Now, in the Braisa it says to the contrary. He was both swallowed and burnt. It swallowed them and Kairach. And we say that in those 250 people, the Kairach Ba'adayus, so then he was swallowed and burnt. Amar Rava, Ma'idich Siv Shemash Yoreach, Amad Zvula. The sun and the moon went up to the heaven known as Zvula. Now, normally, the sun and the moon is on the bottom over here. But it rose up to there are 7 heavens. It rose up to the heaven known as Zvul. And it only goes to the light of your arrows. Only gives light with your arrows. What happened was, the sun and the moon went up to Zvul Amr from Rebbeinu Shalom Imato, he said, Din Ben Amram, if you do justice for Ben Amram and you side with Moshe Rabbeinu, Neitzeh, we will go out and give our son. V'yamalav, if not, loy Neitzeh. Until Hashem shot arrows at them. Hashem said, I don't understand. When kings worship the sun, you don't protest. And now for Moshe, you protest. When sun worshippers worship the sun, you don't say you're not going to go out. You're only protesting in honor of Moshe. Today they took the Musar, and they never go out since people are always worshipping the sun. They never rise until Hashem shoots arrows at them. Darish Rava, if Hashem creates a new creation, and the earth opens up its mouth, if you created hell, good. But if not, created for machlokes. Says the Gemara, what do you mean? To create it, but we have a klal. It's nothing new anymore after the 7 days of creation. If the mouth of Gehenna is here, good. If not, bring it near here. Now it happens to be that Hashem did create on the second day Gehenna, and the reason why Gehenna was created on the second day, because on the second day there was division. Right? He divided the upper waters and the lower waters, and when there's division, there needs to be Gehenna, because Machlokes needs Gehenna. And that's why the Yom of the second day is a Yom Sheni Lamnatzech Livnei Kairach. It's about the Bnei Kairach, it's about Machlokes.
So why was the Piha Aretz created Danish Marshes on Friday? The Mishnah and Abba said.
It was created. It just, he's saying, if it wasn't close there, bring it close.
Why did it need to be created just before Shabbos?
Again, there was certain the regular opening to Gehenna was created on the second day, but here there needed to be a special opening for Kairach V'Adasai. That was like other things created before Shabbos, like the Mata Moshe and other things. Now, the children of Kairach did not die. Tana Mishum Rabbeinu, it says in the Braisa, so Tana Mishum Rabbeinu, this is Rebbe. Tana Mishum Rabbeinu, what is it? What happened? How did they survive? There was a ledge that came out, and they sat on the ledge and they didn't go down to Gehenna. And over there they said song.
Did they come back out?
They did come back out. That's where Shmuel came from. That's what messed him up. He saw that Shmuel would come. He didn't know that his sons would come out.
So they were able to get back to the surface because they were on that ledge.
Correct.
The ledge kept going up, right?
Now, what?
The ledge kept on going
No, they gave a hand to him and they pulled him up. Amar Rabba Babachana, Zimnachad, one time, have a Zilna Ba'urcha. I was traveling on the road. Amali Ahutaya, a certain Arabian merchant, told me, come and I'll show you where the cohorts of Kairach were swallowed up. Azul Chaza Trey Bize, he saw two cracks, smoke was coming out from the two cracks. Shakal Gavava de Amra, the Arab took a ball of wool, Amshei Maya soaked it in water, v'oisvei b'reish rumcha, and stuck it to the tip of his spear, v'achlefei hasam, and he dipped it in between the two cracks. He brought it up, even though the wool was soaked with water, ichrach, it was completely charred. Amalei, he said, atzis ma shamas, bend down and listen to what you will hear. V'shamas ta'avi ka'amrei hachi, Moshe v'tarasei emes, Moshe's Torah is true, v'hein badoyim, and they are fools, they are liars. Amalei kol tlasin yaimim mahadulu gehenim, every 30 days, Gehenim rotates them and brings them back here, kabasa b'seich kalachas, like a meat on a spit that's turned around over the fire. V'imrei hachi, and then you could hear them saying, Moshe v'tarasei emes, Moshe and his Torah are true, v'hein badayim, and they are inventors, they are liars. Okay, now that we started on the way for our journey, we could start welcoming in people. We welcome in Barry Cement and Ilya Shutman, Jack Warman, Dr. Guy, Mo Kushner, Irving Fishbaum, Yitzi Fuchs, Aaron Swade, Mel Zachter, Saba, Shalom Fogel. We want to wish Shalom Fogel at Seitzchem L'Shalom as he leaves tomorrow to Eretz Yisrael. You see, I keep cheshbon. Shalom, I hope that you're going to join us from over there, at least listen to us, and Yitzi, you should have a Tzeitzchem L'Shalom as well. We welcome in Shelley Zeiklin, Yisrael Fisher, Shimon Klein. The truant is back. Marshall Castle, Menachem Yamansky, Dr. Black, Chaim Lerner, Michael, Berish Gesseman, Richard Rosenzweig, Gedalia Engel, Avram Schenkman, Nachman Chapley, Yeshua Shmuel Eisenberg, Gitzi Muller, Avram Rezepkowitz, Rabbi Kranz, Abe Arbach, David Helfgott on Kol Lashon, and here in the show we welcome in Chaim Kramer, Michael Avram, Ruvain Shanet. Did we retrieve yet the ability to listen on Kol Lashon live? Is that clear yet or not yet? I don't hear you. Yitzi.
I had trouble unmuting. I have to dial in and check. No.
Oh, okay. Okay, there's what happened is Kol Lashon Eretz Yisrael remerged with Kol Lashon America, which is very exciting. It means that we will have access to the great professionalism of Kol Lashon Eretz Yisrael. Kol Lashon Eretz Yisrael has 50 people working on their staff. They have 4 million listeners. So so eventually we're going to be gaining a lot from being reconnected to Kol Lashon Eretz Yisrael.
Rabbi, do we know that if the sons of Korach were married when they went down?
They probably weren't.
Okay, because Nadav and Avihu weren't saved because they weren't married. It's no connection.
No connection.
Okay.
Now, Dora Midbar ein lahem chelik l'olam haba. Now, this is a highly controversial thing that the Dor Deya should not have a chelik l'olam haba. Tana Rabbanan Dora Midbar ein lahem chelik l'olam haba. Shenema b'midbar hazeh yitamu. In this desert they will cease. V'sham yamusu. Yitamu b'olam hazeh. They will cease in this world. V'sham yamusu. And they will die also b'olam haba. V'amar asher nishbati be'api, that I swore in my wrath in Yevoyan el menuchasi, that they will not come to my place of comfort. Divrei Rabbi Kiva. So Rabbi Kiva says, that's it. They lost their olam haba. Lo yaleinu. Rabbi Lazar Aimer hein boim lo olam haba. They will get olam haba. Shenemar isvuli chasidai, gather back to me my pious ones. Korsei brisi, those that made a covenant with me. Alei zavach, together with Karbanos at our Sinai. Amani mekayim asher nishbati ba'api, that I swore in my wrath. Ba'api nishbati, I swore in my wrath, but v'chizrani bi, but I retracted. Rabbi Shua ben Karchai Meloin Nema Pasuk Zeh Keneged Doros Haboim. This pasuk that promises a hope was said for future generations. Isvuli chasidei, gather me my pious ones, elu tzadikim shebechol davar. The righteous in every generation. Korsei brisi, those that made a covenant with me, elu chanani mishal v'azariah, that's Chanan Mishal Ma'azariah Shemasu Atzma L'Sei Kipshana Eish, that they went into a furnace. Alei Zevach, that they offered themselves as sacrifices. Elu Rabbi Kiva v'Chavirav, these are Asar Arugim Malchus Shemasu Atzma L'Shchita, they gave themselves over to be slaughtered al Divrei Torah. Because of the Torah that it says that a person who sells his brother should be punished, and they took the punishment upon themselves. Reb Shimon ben Manasseh Aimer, Boy meim lo'olam haba. Dara Midbar will come to Olam haba. Shenema ufeduyei Hashem yeshuvun. Those that are redeemed by Hashem will return. Uvot tziyam berina, they will come to tziyam with song. Amar Rabbi Barachana, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Shafkei Rabbi Kiva l'chasidusei. Rabbi Kiva, who is charitable usually, and he quotes the pasuk of Zacharti lo chesed nurayich avas k'lu, that Hashem will remember the chesed of your maidenhood, the love of your youth. Here, he could have dashed in this pasuk. Shenema haloich v'karasa ba'asni Yerushalayim leimer Zacharti lo chesed nurayich avas k'lu l'soich lechteich acharai b'midbar be'eretz lo yizerua. It says that I will remember the kindness of your youth, how you went into the midbar. So if Hashem remembers the merit of that generation for other people, if it helps other people, it surely helped them. So there was an argument to be charitable, yet Rabbi Kiva wasn't charitable to them and held that they lost their Olam Haba. Now, what about the 10 tribes? Says the Gemara, Aseres Hashvatim Einon Asidin Lazer. The 10 tribes are not destined to return. Shenema ve'yashliche be'eretz acheretz, they will be cast to another land. Kiyom hazeh. Ma hayoim hoylech ve'ein chayzer, just like a day is gone and doesn't come back. That's kiyom hazeh. Afheim holchem ve'einam chayzer. They're cast away, they won't return. Divrei Akiva. Rebbe Lazar says no, to the contrary. They're compared to a day. Just like a day. It's first dark, and then it becomes light. They're dark. They were cast away. They will be illuminated, and they will get the afterlife. So again, the 10 tribes, which is a very big percentage of Klal Yisrael, there's an argument what's going to be with them. Tan Rabbanan, the 10 tribes don't have a portion in the afterlife. Hashem will pluck them from their land with anger and wrath, and huge fury. Hashem plucked them from their land. They'll be cast away. Divrei Rabbi Kiva. Reb Shimon ben Yehuda, ish kvar aka yomer mishim Reb Shimon, im ma'aseyem ki yom hazeh, if they continue in their evil ways, einon chayzim. V'im la, but if they do tshuva, chayzim. Rabbi says, ba'ameim lo'olam haba. They will have a fate in olam haba. Shenema b'yom hahu yitaka b'shofar gadol, Hashem will blow in the big shofar, ubo ha'oivdim me'eretz Asher, and those that were lost from Assyria, and those who are pushed aside will come back. Rabbi Kiva forsook his normal generosity. Shenemar, because there is what to argue. It says, go and read these words to the north. Remember, the 10 tribes are the kingdoms of the north. Return, you wayward children of Yisrael. I will not darken my face against you. I am pious, says Hashem. I won't hold a grudge forever. So Rabbi Akiva, who is normally generous, could have said from this pasuk that they would return. My Chasidu say, what do you mean, Rabbi Kiva, that's normally generous? The Tanya Tane B'nai Rishe Yisrael, the children of wicked Jews, Ein Boim Lo'elam Haba, will not get the afterlife. Shenema Ki Hine Hayoim Bo Boyu Ketana, the day will come burning like a furnace. Vaya Kol Zaydim, all those that are willful, the Kol Oisei Risha, and all those that did wickedness, Kash, will be straw. V'liyat Oisam Hayoim Haba, and they will be burned with a fire. Amar Hashem Tzvakos Asher Lo Yazav Lohem, there won't be remaining from them Shoresh V'Oinef, a root or a branch. Shoresh B'Olam Hazeh, root in this world, V'Anof Lo'elam Haba, Divrei Gamliel, so they won't have children in the next world. Rabbi Kiva Aimer, no, their children are Ba'ameim Lo'elam Haba. Shenema Shomer P'soyim Hashem. Now, literally, this means Hashem watches the simple, but the word Pasi could also mean children. Shekain Kairim B'Kroichei Hayam, in the islands they call Liyanuka Pasya. So Hashem watches the children. V'Aimer Guda Ilna V'Chavloi, cut down the tree and destroy it. Bram Iker Sharshori, but its roots Ba'arash V'Ku leave in the land. Ve'alamani Mikaim L'Yazav Lahem Shorish V'Anaf. What does it mean that there won't be a root and a branch left from them? Shelo Yaniach Lahem Lo Mitzvah V'Li Shiurei Mitzvah. There won't be left a mitzvah or even a remnant of a mitzvah. Like a mitzvah is the taking the lulav, the remnant of the mitzvah is shaking it. There won't be left anything for them for the afterlife. Hashem will give them all the reward in this world. There won't be left a soul, the anav zaguf, or the body. But the children of wicked idolaters, they don't get the afterlife. They will perish all zecher, all memory of these other nations. Now, when does a child merit the afterlife? When does a child get Olam Haba? Reb Chia, Reb Shimon Bar Rebbe, it's Machlokes Reb Chia and Reb Shimon Bar Rebbe, Chadama Mishoshe Noilad, from when he's born. The Chadama Mishoshe Sipa, when he starts talking. Mandiyama Mishoshe Noilad, Shnema Yavoyu V'Yagidu, they will come and they will tell Tzidkasai, La'am Noilad, a nation that's born, Ki Asa. So he will come and he will tell his righteousness in the future to a nation that's born. A seed that worships, Yusuper, he who talks, La Hashem Lidar, will be for Hashem for future generations. Itmar, Ravina Mishoshe Nizra, from when he was conceived. So even miscarriages get Olam Haba. Dichseb Zera Yavdenu, a seed that worships. From when he's circumcised. Dichseb Ani, I am poor. Vigava, and I will. Gava is Vayigva Vayamas. That's a term of the death of the righteous, where they have the afterlife. Minoyer Nosasi Emecha. When will I have that? When from my youth I carried your oar, meaning that you had the Mila, then Afuna, then I will be Zeicha to have the afterlife. Tana, Mishum Rameya, Mishoshi Yomer Amen. From when a person says Amen. Shenema Pisku Sha'arim, open the gates, V'yava Goy Tzadik, and enter a righteous nation, Shomer Emunim, one who keeps the faith. Al Tikrei Shomer Emunim, Ela Sha'omer Amen. One who says Amen, they will open the gates and let them into the next world. What is the acrostic, the acronym of Amen? Says the Gemara, my Amen, Amrav Chanina, El Melech Ne'eman, the Almighty, the King who is trusted to keep what we say that he's doing. So when we say Baruch Atah Hashem Shemei Tefillah, Kel Melech Ne'eman, Hashem is the King who is trusted that he listens to our prayers. We now are going to learn the next blot. we want to remind you that we're getting ahead, although it's hard. It's hard to learn one night 2 blat, especially long blat, but it's harder to learn on one night 4 blat. And if we don't get ahead, then on Matzah Yom Tov, we would have to learn 4 blat, which is, that's already, a real job. So we're going to learn a second blat. I want to remind you that we are looking for sponsors. We're looking for a sponsor for this week's Haggadah Shir. It's going to be a very interesting Haggadah Shir, potpourri on the Haggadah. 718-916-3100, rmmwsi@aol.com. We're also looking for a sponsor for Masechtas Makos, which will start later on this week. And again, 718-916-3100. We're just going to change the channels now.